A big part of being successful with your budget is having the right bank account structure. This is really important because your bank account structure will either help or hinder what you are trying to achieve. So what I'm going to show you here is the 3 bank account structure that I require all of my clients to have. This structure I've sort of honed over a number of years to try and get the right structure so that it really helps you in the process of saving money. So let's go through this. 3 bank accounts. The first one, and the most important account, is our central working account. So this is a bank account that receives all of your household income. So if you're a couple, it needs to be both your incomes. All sources of income should flow into this central account. Now, in this central account, you hold all of the money for your jars. So when you're looking at your phone app and it's telling you that you've got, $500 to spend on holidays or $300 to spend on grooming, all of that money accumulated sits here in this central account. There's one exception to that, and that one exception is your everyday spending. Your everyday spending is things like your groceries, petrol, entertainment, takeaway, bought coffees, bought lunches, and so on. That's more discretionary money, and the everyday spending makes up about 50% of our transactions every single month. But because it's little bits here, little bits there, it does tend to slip through our fingers very, very easily. So what I get people to do is isolate. So in this instance, there's $1,000 being transferred from the central account into the everyday account on the first day of every month. And then that's all you've got to spend on those expenses. So what it means is you've got a physical boundary that says this is what you've got, this is all you've got, and if you run out, bad luck, baked beans and mashed potatoes. And having this very physical boundary as well as a budget has helped my clients literally save hundreds and hundreds of dollars every month because they are so much more aware of how much money they've got available. So all of your money goes into your central account. In your central account, you keep all of the accumulated money for your jars. Your everyday spending money, however, on the first of each month gets transferred from the central account into your everyday account where you can access it via an ATM account. So it just needs to be a basic transaction account. And then any money that's left over, so we can see over here, we have $5,500 income that flows into the central account. We've got $4,000 required to top up all our jars. $1,000 goes to our everyday spending jar, which means that we have $500 that can go up into savings, into a separate high interest savings account or an offset account if you've got a mortgage, to keep those funds separate. And that would be, for instance, your rainy day fund or money that we use to pay off debt and so on. This central working account should have all the bells and whistles, all the functionality of a good account. For instance, you should be able to do your direct debits from here, your transfers from here, your periodical payments from here. And if you've got a credit card, you can pay for things from the central account with your credit card, but knowing that the money's there to pay off the credit card at the end of the month. You should only ever put money on the credit card if you've got the money sitting in the bank account. Now, as I've spoken to you throughout this course, what we're trying to do, of course, is get rid of the credit card. If we can actually pay cash for things, we should, but we need to make sure that if we are using a credit card, if we decide that it's just way too important to be using a credit card, we need to make sure we physically have the money sitting there before we pay it. So there you have it, 3 bank account structure. I have been using this for years. It is very, very powerful, especially the part where you are sticking your everyday spending money into a separate account so that you can't overspend on those smaller discretionary expenses. Good structure. Really encourage you to take this structure up. As I said before, I require it of all my clients because it is a powerful part of budgeting success. So that's the bank account structure that I've been using with clients for 15 to 20 years. It really does work. I've shown you the right structure now. Now it's up to you. Go and get your bank account set up into that 3 bank account structure. Sure, it's a hassle, but that's why it makes it a big step of commitment, because once you've got it in place, it will make everything so much easier and the hard work is done. So that's your homework for this tutorial. Get your bank account set up, get all your transfers, direct debit set up, get your pay going into that central account, and make sure you have a transfer to everyday account. So there you go. That's it for this first module. I'm really excited. I'm hoping you've got through it. I'm hoping that it makes sense. Next tutorial, we're going to start on Module 2, and Module 2 is making sure that your bank account equals what your budget says you should have. So that is that first pool of funds we need to fill up using our surplus, so that when we look at our mobile phone app or when we look at the PC, we can say, yes, what I have in my budget is what I actually have in my bank account. I look forward to going through that with you in the next tutorial. And as always, if you've got any questions, please don't hesitate to ask us.